Okay, so before you come hunt me down and threaten me and give me all the thumbs down comments and everything, I just want to try this. You can see I have primer already on the truck. It's ready to go, ready for a paint job, but I'm not sure that I know what color I want. I'm not sure what I want it to look like just yet. So I was looking for a way to just test a few things. So I got some of this. It's the plasti-dip from Dip Your Car, and I'm gonna just test it, right? So I'll just take you through it. Don't hate me. I'm not gonna ruin the truck. It'll come right off if it doesn't work. All right, so this is my 54 Ford F100. I've wanted one of these since I was 6, and you can see that I've already kind of masked off an area that I want to test this. Now I picked this area in particular because it has the sort of the angle there, right? Anybody can spray anything flat, like the doors. That would have been easy. I kind of just picked this area because it's got that rounded edge to it, and I want to see how, you know, how this goes on it. So got my can here. I've already done the prep exactly as we're supposed to do, and I'm gonna give it a shot. So I'll start with the first coat. All right, so I shook the can for a minute, just like you're supposed to do. And now, just like the videos that they have, I'm gonna go 50% over the overlapping 50%, and just kind of give it a test. So I put the little tape down, just some paper for some overspray, nothing fancy, and let's give it a shot. One of the things they said that I noticed was to hold at a 90 degree, and so that's kind of why I chose this again, just so I could kind of get practice with that 90 degree and see if I could hold that. Just, I don't know, just see if I can do it. All right, so that was pretty easy. The idea was to have about 50% coverage, so you should still see some of the gray in there. And one thing I kind of like so far, there's not a lot of fumes coming up. There's not a lot of that cloud a normal spray can would have. Now, if I do the truck, I'm not going to use the can, obviously. I'm going to buy the gallons and the whole sort of pro kit, I guess they call it. But I do like so far that, I mean, I do have good ventilation here, good cross breeze going, but I like that so far it's not really nasty. Also, I'm gonna get a mask too. All right, so here's kind of the first coat. Not kind of, it is the first coat. And so far, not too bad. I think that's about 50%. I think I overlapped it pretty good, just as they say. And actually, if you look down here, you can kind of see it's drying kind of quickly. Now, I'm not gonna just put the next coat on right away. You're supposed to let this dry completely. And when it does, there should be no shine. So right now I've got a ton of shine. I just sprayed it, so I'll give it some time here. We'll check back on it in a little bit. All right, so it's starting to look really, really flat. It's been maybe 25, 30 minutes, and it's almost perfectly flat. So there's no more gloss left on it. I'm gonna reshake up the can again, do a second coat, and let's see how it goes. All right, that time also I went a little heavier. Since this is a test, I was trying to see how thick could I go without getting any runs. So you might have noticed I went a little slower that time and went a little thicker, I guess is how you would say it. So I could kind of get a feel for what's too much and what's too little. Because the last thing you want to do is get doing a bunch of this and then find some run somewhere. So that time it was a lot thicker and didn't seem to be any kind of a problem. Let's take a look. All right, so here we are at the second coat. Covering everything. I'd say it's pretty much covering all the gray. And this coat was a lot thicker. You can see a little texture in there, but you know, the primer, I don't know if you can see it, the primer has a little texture anyways, there you go. So I'm not really expecting this to be perfectly smooth, partly because of the truck and partly because, I mean, this is like a rubber-based product, right? I mean, how smooth could it be? But once it goes down and starts drying, I'll show it to you once it's dry, it really does look kind of smooth. So it's not so bad. I would say so far this is looking pretty good. While we're waiting, if you're wondering, this is the inside here. This is what it looks like. Pretty nice. That's like a white creamy sort of dash there. And the chrome gauges. Everything's pretty much nice and solid in here. Really won't be doing anything color-wise in here. I really like the interior. Alright, coat number 2. So it's finally dry. Looking pretty good. A little of the texture is going away. I don't know if you can really see it all that well, but a little of that texture is starting to look a little smoother. So I'm gonna do coat number 3. Keep it going. All right, here's coat number 3, all dry, ready to go, really starting to look smooth. Really starting to like that. One thing I did notice is that down in here, as I've been spraying, you guys may have noticed me miss this, but I'm not angling the can sharp enough to get on the back side here. So the front side's good, the back side still has a little gray there. I gotta make sure to hit that on this go around, and something to remember, you know, if I do go forward with this and get the actual kit and everything, something to keep in mind as you're spraying in there. All right, coat number 4. One thing I'm kind of anxious to see is, you notice when I was spraying, I think whether it's an aerosol can or whether it's the actual, you know, kit turbine thing that they have, my spray wasn't very consistent. Now I know if I was doing a paint, you know, straight paint on a car or truck, that would show that sort of inconsistency, the inexperienced hand. So I'm kind of curious to see, even with this can, you know, obviously I'm not a pro at it, but does that affect the overall look? Or does it kind of all flatten out and look just right? I tried to put the coat on pretty heavy on this last go around because it didn't seem like I had to worry too much about runs. I feel like that was pretty thick, but we'll see. I'll show you when it dries. All right, that's 4 coats. A little texture in there. I'm not expecting to get rid of it. Uh-oh, I just saw that little guy. Actually over here, right there, let's see if it zooms. There's a little flake, and I tried to peel it off just with a little X-Acto blade without touching it, and I kind of, oh no, it's right there, sorry. And I kind of pushed it in, so we got a little nick there. I'm not really trying to make the area here very, like, you know, sterile or dust free. I'll set all that up if I decide to kind of go this route, but one thing to note, you know, I just saw that little thing in there, and I think I'm going to do one more coat and see what happens. You know, if I peel that off, it's just a little hair, but if I take that off and then I put another coat on top, is it really noticeable, or is that just kind of part of the deal? This is just gonna... before I start the 5th coat, I'm gonna get rid of that and just check for anything else. Put the 5th coat on and see where we end up. Alright, that time that was a little sloppy. I'm running out, so you definitely don't want to do a whole car with something like this. But because I'm running out, when I was trying to keep it at a 90, it was kind of spitting, didn't have enough to go through. So still looks good. I think 4 coats would have done the trick anyways. I just put the 5th one on just because I had a little extra, and let's see how it goes. Alright, so it's been probably 3 hours since this has had 5 coats. So I'm going to start peeling it off, just kind of see how this area looks here. And what I did is I put 2 layers of tape. This is not the actual tape that they give you, but I was just, you know, testing it out. So I put 2 layers of tape just to kind of see. You can kind of see there. I wanted to see how does it peel off when it's actually touching each other. And so you can kind of see it does pull up. So I'm going to experiment with that while I pull this off. First thing I notice, it's actually really tough. You can't see down there, I guess, but it is a lot tougher than I was thinking it would be. Strength-wise, it just peels off pretty. It's a pretty thick layer. Also, I notice if you you can kind of control where it comes off. So if you get a little spot that pulls up, you can kind of control exactly where it does pull up. I like that. All right, there's my square. So the real question is, as I peel back the last or the original piece of tape, does it rip along the edge or does it pull like this? Because right now I'm peeling the tape and it seems to be pulling away. But that was all the over the top coat. So if I can peel this back, see, I don't know why it does that. See that there? I can't find a way to peel this off where it doesn't mess that up. Let's go over here. So maybe I'm doing something wrong. I'm sure I am. But I thought ideally I should be able to pull and this shouldn't wrinkle. Alright, I should point out, at no point do the guys that dip your car or any of the videos that they make suggest that you put the dip over the tape and expect there to be a clean line. I just masked out that part of the truck because I was trying to have the different angles and see how I could respond to that. So I know I was making the comment that it wasn't peeling off. I wasn't expecting it to peel off nicely. I wanted to kind of clear that up. Alright, for all the collector guys out there that are worried that I ruined this nice truck, I wanted to show you. It does peel off just as it says. Look at how easy, just one-handed. But yet it's really on there. I mean, it does take a minute to get it started. So, just so you can see, the test was successful, right? But the truck is not ruined. Please don't threaten my family. So, basically, overall, I would have to say I'm pretty happy with it. I'm going to go forward and try to do the whole truck, do the satin black sort of look. So stay tuned to the next video. I'll definitely tape the whole thing, let you know the good, the bad, and the ugly. And if you have any questions, leave comments below. And